Welcome back to Inside the Cardinal Playbook. I'm Rick Cole, and it's my pleasure to introduce you to the new volleyball coach at William Jewell College. Carolyn Raynes comes to us from Tarleton State in Texas, but you're local. You grew up in this area, right?
Yes, sir. I grew up in Lawrence, Kansas.
Yeah, where did you go to high school?
Lawrence High.
Lawrence High School?
The original.
And then on to
Washburn University.
where you played as a setter, right?
Yes, yes.
I've noticed, we talked about this in another interview we did, I noticed right away that you're left-handed, which is a real advantage for a setter.
Yes, it is.
Did you take advantage of that in college as an attacker as well?
Absolutely, I did. My coach at the time, he loved the fact that I was a left-handed player, and in fact, sometimes I used it too much as a setter.
Really?
And so he transitioned me a little bit into the right side.
I want to talk about all of the things that you plan to do here at Jewell, but first let's talk again a little bit about your background. You played at Washburn. Did you play in a 5-1 or a 6-2, or what did you play?
Typically it was a 5-1, and he went back and forth a couple different times, like most coaches do, figuring out what works best. So most of the time he ran a 5-1, and so that was kind of nice, getting to run the whole offense the whole time.
Right, yeah, and Washburn, a great program. What kind of success did you have as a player there?
We had really good success as a team. We actually traveled to the Final Four, and that was an experience in itself. We got to host the national championship in our gym. Didn't quite make it there. We lost the match before, but you know, I got a couple great medals and things like that from making it to the conference tournament and onto the NCAA. As
a player, what's one of your better memories at Washburn?
Well, I went in as a freshman behind a really good Division I transfer setter, and I thought that maybe it would just be my time to figure things out. Unfortunately, she had an injury, and I got to step in there. We went on, and the players around me really helped me as a freshman.
Right.
And we had a great, I had a stint there where we didn't lose a conference match for a long time.
Wow.
So that was pretty cool.
I'll bet it was.
Yeah, good teammates that helped me out for sure.
When you leave Washburn, you had a high school coaching job for a couple of years and had some success there as well.
I did at Shawnee Heights High School. It's a 5A school in Tecumseh, Kansas, and we went on for the first time in 10 years and went to the state tournament, finished third. That was a very exciting for especially the seniors. That was a part of that. Continued the next year, and we did really well. Had a winning record, but lost right before sub-state to my rival and best friend at the time. That was at Seaman High School. Yeah. So
you had some success there, and I think it must translate pretty well to kind of what you're going to have to face here at Jewell. You come in, you inherit players, have success right away. I want to talk about Tarleton here in a moment, but do you see kind of a parallel there from the high school first year coaching?
I'm hoping so, and I think that when I took over that program, just bringing in different energy really helped, and that's kind of my goal here, is to just bring some change and direction and hope that the kids that are here and the players that I've recruited are going to buy into that. And so far, it's been pretty good. So.
And I know I'm jumping around a little bit here,
That's
but let's talk about Tarleton. After, what, 2 years of the high school ranks?
Yes.
How long did you coach at Tarleton?
I was there for 2 years as well, so, you know, not to be worried that I'll be only here for 2 years. That's not my plan. But after I was there for 2 years as an assistant, I had a great mentor. She really helped me figuring out how to be successful at that level. So.
Tarleton is in Stevensville,
Texas. Yes, the cowboy capital of America.
Oh, is it really?
Yes.
And Division II, of course, so that's a big help. Is that your building block for the Division II program here at William Jewell?
Yes, I think it plays a big part in that, as does all my experiences that I've had so far. Like I said, she was a great mentor. She taught me a lot about recruiting, about dealing with the compliance, and just how to manage a team at that level. So.
You talked a moment ago about the energy that it's going to take, but what are your other priorities as you start out here at Jewell?
I think the biggest thing is going to be figuring out the characteristics that our team wants to be. And so I've spent a lot of time in the last couple of weeks getting to know each player. What are their personal goals? Where do they see the team being? And the best thing about it is we all seem to be on the same page, that we want to be successful and we want to do it the right way. So.
Is it sitting down like you and I are sitting down now talking, or is it working with them a little bit on the court, or a little bit of both?
A little bit of both. I try to, every day during the week we've done some sort of individual, whether it's one-on-one or with a small group, and I've had the opportunity to pull most of them aside at one point or had them in my office and just, getting to know them, because like you said, I inherited these players and I want to make sure that what we're doing, we're on the same page. So.
how many kids do you have coming back from last year's team?
We have 9 coming back, and 2 of those are going to be seniors, and I'm excited about the leadership roles that they're going to step into. And we have some really good underclassmen as well that, were a big factor last year, and I expect to be able to build a good program with those kids.
I know it's awful tough to evaluate. You've just been here for a couple of weeks, but
Yes.
Can you give us an idea of maybe what was in store as far as what your offense will be and all of that here?
Well, I think going into it, we've picked up another setter, actually a 6-foot right side as well, and so
That's nice to have.
That is, and so I'm thinking we'll kind of work into a 6'2", and is my mindset. Obviously, it might change
Long way
completely.
away. Yep.
But I like the idea of having 3 kids in the front row that can hit all the time. I'm never opposed to 5'1", and especially if a setter really steps out there and is saying, this is my role, I need to be in there and proving that, then absolutely. I think that I know in the GLVC they're typically known for running a faster offense. So that's something that I think we'll incorporate as long as we can do it well. And passing the ball well is going to obviously be a huge part.
Yeah.
But as a coach, I want them to be able to be aggressive and feel comfortable being aggressive. I know that mistakes happen in volleyball. That's how you score points.
Right.
So that's going to be my emphasis, is encouraging them to be aggressive and figuring out how to be consistently that way. So
You talked about the passing game. How about
Yes.
the serving game? Are you real aggressive with your serving game, trying to
Yeah.
score points?
it's part of your offense, and I've always believed that it's not just a way to get the ball in play. It's a way for you to score and to take them out of their system, and so that's kind of my, I encourage them to be aggressive. Yeah, there's going to be kids that are like, just get it into the court, but I've seen some really good servers so far on the team that, they get that ball over there and score points that way. So
Right. You talked a little bit about the returners. How about your recruits so far? And
Yes.
again, just a short amount of time to work on that, but can you tell
Yes.
us anything about how recruiting is going? You mentioned one.
Yes, we actually have been I've been lucky having Coach Bradley, who was the assistant last year. He kind of kept recruiting going, and we had a good conversation yesterday about the fact that the kids that he's brought to me in the beginning are almost all the kids that we've signed so far.
Oh, nice.
So, most head coaches that walk into this position don't get that. They have to start from ground one and work their way up. So he did a great job of bringing me kids that he was hoping would fit. And there were some that didn't, and there were some that really did. And one of them was a setter from St. Louis. And then we have Danny, the 6-foot right side. She's from Minnesota. And then we have another kid from Minnesota that just signed this last weekend, a little redhead. So obviously I'm a big fan of her. and all of them, of course. And so we're looking to get 9 more to add on to that. So
9 more?
9 more is where we're at. So doubling the number that we currently have. And we have 7 signed or committed so far.
Carolyn, tell us a little bit about your family growing up in Lawrence. Your folks
Absolutely.
there? You have brothers and
Yes.
sisters?
My sister is in St. Louis right now. She's getting married this summer.
Okay.
So that, she's excited to have me closer than Texas because I think she's going to put me to
Sure.
work with
Yeah.
a lot of wedding stuff.
You're in the wedding, right?
I am.
Okay.
I am. And then both my parents live in Lawrence, and my father is a small business owner. And I had a conversation with him yesterday about thank you for teaching me how to have good relationships
Right.
and really focus on connecting with people, because that's a huge part of my job now, whether it's with administration
Absolutely.
or with my players. So, and then my mom is there as well, and they're happily married and happy to have me back around.
Yeah, back in the neighborhood.
Yeah, exactly.
Carolyn Raynes has been our guest here, the new volleyball coach at William Jewell College, and we'll have a final word inside the Cardinal Playbook coming up in a moment.